And we were looking for a whole year to find a space to present the filter coffees a little bit better. And also, obviously, to find space to roast. And the rents in this area went up so drastically, so it took us a while. Yeah, it's became very popular. It's a beautiful area. I live on Torstrasse. It's very nice. All these historic buildings are here.
When did you open this store?
This one was in middle of September this year. So yeah, and we usually don't advertise. We have no marketing budget, so whenever a paper or magazine is asking us to place an ad, we say no. We put it into training and to buy more expensive coffee beans. So
It gives me the feeling that you got your inspiration from places like Side Glass or.
To be honest, I've never been to San Francisco, but I do like the look of 4-barrel.
Yeah.
I assume Side Glass is something similar, but also in...
We have it in our magazine.
Oh, okay. I wanted to create something really open and accessible, but obviously it's a bit dangerous. We have a restriction on we can't have like children playing. It would be too dangerous, you know, when they run into the roast area or the kitchen and stuff. So. Also, another aspect was we wanted to, you know how James Hoffmann talks about presenting specialty coffee better, that we are very close friends with Square Mile and Tim Wendelboe, Coffee Collective and those people. And I think it was time for specialty coffee shops to not only focus on the ingredients and quality of the product, but also on service and on how we present ourselves. So we wanted to make this very reduced and minimalistic and slick, so when people come in they know that we actually care and focus on the product and not on cozy chairs and music, you know, and laptop area and things like that. There are a lot of ideas that came into this place. The, no music and laptop, for example, is very close to my heart also.
No music,
I like the sound of work, but also if people listen to conversations of the barista, they learn a little bit about coffee. So the long brew bar that we have is 6 meters. And the idea was that people just hang out at the brew bar and talk about coffee, and we brew something for another customer, they join and they meet. So we really wanted to go back to like an old coffee house almost in the 50s or 60s where people would meet, you know, to meet other people or sit down and read a paper and things like that. So it's, I think, a lot of things along my 2.5 years with the barn was the first of all, they're all wearing the same shirt here because I don't like to go into places and you don't know who's working there. So for me, not a uniform, but something to recognize that people are actually working there and can be addressed is very important. Then I'm obsessed with detail and hygiene. I think we want to operate like bartenders in a high quality cocktail bar, for example. We really want like clean dishes and clean work area, and I just think that when things are clean, you're also addressing the senses aesthetically. So that's very important, that when people come in, they know we care. What James Hoffmann said at the SCAA in New York, in Portland, in April this year, was he compared this burger theory. When you go to McDonald's or Burger King, you only want to pay like 99 cents or something for a cheeseburger. But if you go to another place, you buy like $15 for that. And then why are people willing to pay more when they enter a different establishment? It's like they know it's higher quality, they know that people care. Yeah. And so that is why we wanted to signal also to that actually when someone comes in and they don't know us, that they see that actually this should be like a product of higher value.
Yeah.
So we don't have much debate about pricing. In general, I think we're still far too cheap for what we are offering, but we also think in Germany in particular we have a lot of work to do because we went through decades of very bad coffee here. That is partly to do with the industrial coffee and a very strong kind of like filter coffee consumer behavior, and secondly the Germans, if I may say so, generally don't spend so much for food when they go shopping for food, so they're very price conscious. I think this is kind of changing, you know, with the arrival of organic food stores. But still, you know, you have a lot of people going to grocery stores and they rather buy like 8 yogurts for 29 cents than 4 for 89 cents and actually eat them. There's a lot of throwing away of food, but also very like cheap buying for groceries and things like that. I think in Belgium or Holland, they like 20. No, we really want to follow the slow food movement. We sometimes call it slow coffee for people to understand that the contact to the farm and also to trade directly or with one middleman that you know, rather than many merchants that are you know, stuck in between the value chain. We really want the money to go to the farm and to make the product better. We are not such big fans of fair trade in coffee. I think generally as a system fair trade is a good thing, but in coffee only a few cents per kilo are going to the farm actually, while as in direct trade everything goes to the farm. Also the farmer gets an identity in the product, they learn something, they're getting better. And we're happy to pay a much higher price for a higher product, higher value product. And so then for us, processing, roasting, and then we are at the end with the serving of the coffee.
But you buy all your green coffee, or do you have also other roasters who serve? You have Solberg and Hansen or whatever. Do you serve that?
Yeah. Up until like a few weeks ago, we were not roasting, so this is a new element for us because we think generally it should be local. After roasting, the bean shouldn't travel so far. But when we opened the little shop in Auguststraße, we tried to have local products, but we found that other cities and countries were a lot more advanced and gave us the product that we wanted. It was traceable, there was speciality and micro lots, micro roasts and things like that. So our main roaster is Square Mile Coffee Roasters in London, James Hoffman and then at Moltva. We are so grateful that they gave us the bean. We felt like we were like the Eastern Coast on the European map. And meanwhile, you have a lot more happening also in Poland and Czechoslovakia and all these countries, getting a big push in specialty coffee in Moscow.
Okay.
There are things happening, so we are not as Eastern as we thought. There's stuff.
Yeah, we tend to forget that also.
Yeah. No, we get a lot of. Obviously, Berlin is a very attractive city for people to travel to. We have a lot of coffee travelers that come here, and they're from everywhere, but a lot of Eastern Europeans also. They have a strong interest in specialty coffee. So, for us we started with Square and we're still working with Square. Our filter bar is open for guest filters, and Square will always have a spot on our filter bar, and we will sell their beans here in retail for Square fans that live in London, live in Berlin.
Yeah.
But also we have Tim Wendelbo, the Solberg and Hansen, Poppy Coffee, Damateo, and Traub Coffee from Sweden and things like that. We try wherever we find something interesting. The baristas are coming up with ideas, and then every week we decide what we want to have on the brew bar.
And you started roasting just 2 weeks ago, or?
Well, we opened this year in middle of September.
Yeah.
But the main focus was to get the front bar up and running first. We hired a lot of people, and Berlin is not. Doesn't have a strong base for baristas. Obviously, just like Melbourne or New York, you have
London
people to choose from. So we decided to train people up that had a strong interest. For example, Rob, who's on the machine, comes from a milk farm in Australia, and his taste is super sensitive. And the way he talked about what he wants to learn and things like that, we were like very keen to hire him. And so he moved to the brew bar first, brewing filters, and now he's trained on the espresso machine, and he's a key barista now at the shop. But the roasting we slowly ramped up in parallel. Square came over a few times from London to train us, and that's another aspect of the
that was my question. How do you build up a roastery? Because it's not easy.
It's a lot of it's not easy. But I have to say we feel really embedded in a like group of people that is almost like an artisan movement where we help each other. And and so people come over, or we call and ask questions, or we compare roast profiles. But Square Mile were here, like helping us and going through roast sessions and trying to find out how the machine works. Every machine works differently. This is a 1955 robot, completely refurbished robot.
Looks brand new.
So it has all the elements of good cooking, like a cast iron frying pan compared to like a modern one. And but it's the latest technology. We decided to have a larger cooling tray, direct engines, a larger cycle and ventilation system, so that we can control every step of the roasting process and replicate it. Yeah, sure. And we also had this new filtration system from Probat with natural cold stones to take out some of the dirt and smell. So we are not making any neighbors. As nice as coffee smell is, if it's too much, I think you don't
too
want.
much is too much.
Yeah.
How many kilos is this?
This is 15 kilos, but the tray is a 22 kilo tray, and also the cycle and the ventilation is for a larger machine. We found that Tim Wendelboe was one of our gurus in roasting, is achieving tremendous results, and we thought that's a benchmark, at least in terms of technology, that we want.
What happened? What makes it better when you use a larger cooling tray?
It cools down faster.
And how do you sense that in the taste? What is the difference?
Oh no, we just want to control the roast while it's in the drum,
Yeah.
and not continue to roast while it sits in the cooling tray.
Yeah.
So there is an element when the tray is smaller that the beans are still hot, and then there's still the heat.
They bake
and
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then they get still dark.
kind of, yeah. You can still make amazing coffees, but we
Just take it into account.
Yeah.
And now it's like
And now for us it's like more. Also we are connected to Cropster, which is a roast software that a lot of people are using, and so we look at temperature profiles, roast profiles. We cup a lot. It's all about taste. So you need to be very systematic about sample roasting, deciding what green to pick. But also, once you've roasted, we just started with the baristas to write down every day what roast batch they're using, what roast date, and then give us feedback. So we know exactly what we've roasted like 12 or 14 days ago, how it tastes today. And then we feed that back into the roast profile and base our decision on that. But it's a very long learning curve. It's an amazing product. It's very sensitive, but the reward is we make a lot of people happy when they drink it. So we roast mainly for ourselves as a starting point. We started with the espresso. We are too small at this stage to go and fly to Guatemala or Kenya and develop a relationship with a farm. So we use other people.
Yeah, you buy
so.
it in Inter-American or.
Well, actually, these beans are from Square Mile. They share with us whenever they have enough of good coffee, which is difficult to get the right quantities. But also people like Tim Wendelboe or Kaffa in Oslo, Johanne Nyström and other people start sharing.
When you buy together coffee,
they buy and then they offer it, and then they pass through. Obviously, with you have to pay up margin, but you can be sure that the product went very strong quality.
You share freight costs and
So that for us is the first step, and as we slowly grow and get more of what's the word? Base to work off, we will start also flying into.
You're the one who is roasting?
Yeah, I roast with another barista / roaster, Sean. He's from Vancouver. He was my first barista when I started the barn in Auguststraße in 2010, and he came back because he has a strong interest developing his roast skills, and so the two of us are looking into that. We also have another person on board from Kaffa in Helsinki, Miki. He just joined a month ago, and he's also helping us. So whenever one person is traveling, then the other person can continue to roast.
Yeah.
So I think we want to kind of like not concentrate the roast experience on one person, but like share the costume. But also all the baristas are cupping with us. They're the ones that need to give us feedback on how the coffee tastes in the cup. So we really don't want to lose that connection between roastery and front end. I think that's very important. Also for authenticity. We do that in here also in the mornings. We have a morning brewing ceremony before we open in both shops. We brew all the coffees that we have on the day on brew bar, and everybody that works, including the kitchen person or the person who is producing the cakes, they have to come out and cup with us and give us like we want them to build a palate. So whenever they come out and serve a person when it's really busy, they need to be able to describe coffees. So I think to make this as a workplace more attractive to people, you need to offer learning curves and involve everybody around the key product. It's a big training task. It's very time intense, but I think it kind of works for us. I mean, it's really well.
How are the reactions here in Berlin on your quite radical concept?
Oh, you mean the coffee concept? Or
yeah, the
concept of we want to have it quiet also and with less noise. That is another aspect that we have, so people can, because coffee is addressing your senses. We don't want to have loud music, and also we ask people to be more considerate towards other people that are at the shop, and that is for some people very unusual. Yeah, we have a lot of startup people and new media coming here, and we have a no laptop policy except for the media tables, and it's quite a challenge to convince them that we don't want to be like an internet cafe. Or that they can't watch their latest video and it's really, really noisy, or for parents to bring children when they're at an age where they make a lot of noise, we ask them to go somewhere else. We really want to have this, people to come and read a book or talk to someone else. That no laptop policy, for example, for me is very important. I think more and more I observe that society is kind of getting very, very lonely, even though they are very connected. I hear from people that are traveling and they say, oh, I stayed in a hostel, I thought I meet a lot of people, but everybody was just staring at the computer, chatting to the person at home rather than making new friends while they travel, for example. Or my sister, whenever she visited me, she was chatting with other people, and I said, why don't you look around? Everybody's looking at you and you're not meeting anybody. Why are you chatting with a guy in America that you will never see, maybe? I think we have that, especially Germany doesn't have very large cities. Berlin probably different, but it feels like little villages being connected, and it's very widespread, so you don't really feel like it's a big city. But still, we have a lot of people that come to especially the little barn where they share tables and stuff. It offers them a place to be connected again to the product. So conceptually, the reaction to no sugar and no milk and filter coffees and stuff like that, or hand brewed, is you can't change people's taste. You can only offer a new product. I don't like caviar, for example.
You have the same policy in the smaller shop?
Yeah. The small shop. If someone is twisting our arm, we put some milk into tea, for example, but we will never put it in a filter coffee. And some people don't like it. But we've done it in the beginning. We had a lot of American tourists, and they know filter coffee with milk, and they like it that way. But our coffees are so light in roast and so intense or delicate in flavor profiles. Sometimes if you would add milk into a Kenyan coffee, it tastes sour. We had a lot of people returning coffee saying like, oh, it doesn't taste good. And we said, yeah, well, you punched it with milk and now you throw it back into my face. And then we decided, look, no, it's not a product that works with milk. If you want, when people come in, we ask them, do you want coffee? Yes. Do you want it with milk or black? When they say with milk, we go straight to the espresso. If they drink it black, we go straight to filter coffees. We have a lot of returners that left espresso because the espresso in Germany was too bitter and it was too short, and they didn't want the Tetra Pak milkshakes from Starbucks. They went to tea, and then now they are returning to filter coffee. They have a very nice, long, black drink that has amazing flavors that you can drink slowly and enjoy, and it doesn't have that overwhelming milk taste. So that is, for example, a target group of people that are very interested.